Hello, my name's Stephanie Toman, and as part of the DLC, I'm doing some of these beyond the basics for Excel skills. This video is going to be looking at mixed cell referencing and templates. It's so that people understand how mixed cell referencing works with regard to absolute, and then you can absolute by with mixed cell referencing. You can absolute by row, absolute by column, and obviously back to relative cell referencing, which is the normal when you autofill down. And then templates is about how we use them, what happens to them, and where they're saved, so that you get a better understanding of that. If this is useful, hopefully it'll help you out with whatever you're trying to do. Thank you.
And in here you can see that we have a workbook, worksheet, and a workbook template. Knowing the difference between these is what the exam syllabus is getting at. It's not particularly you have to open up a workbook, do lots of things and save it as a template, or open up a template, make lots of changes in it and save it as a template again. It's understanding that if we open up a template, so this one here, workbook template, even though it's a template, it changes into a workbook. So if you're asked to open up a template, make a change, let's say make a change of 50% to this template, and they want you to resave it, then you need to resave it. Instead of just hitting save up here in the exam, you need to make sure that when you do a save as and you browse, that you save it as a template still, because it's changed to a workbook. So we need to go back to being a template. And also be aware of where that changes at the top. So if they want you to save it to the Z drive, you need to make sure the Z drive is showing up here. And the Z drive will look a little bit like that, but with a Z before the colon. So make sure there's two things, that you have resaved it as a template and you have saved it in the correct place. Other than that, there's really not much more to it. So I'm not going to hang about on that. You've got a template there, you've got a workbook, you can have a little play around with those to make sure that you get a gist of it. It's pretty straightforward. So demo mixed cell references folder, let's open that up and let's have a look at this syllabus area. So in the syllabus you can have, if we look at this one here and I select the A3 in the formula bar, if I use the F4 function key to jump through the different areas, we have, this is an absolute, so both column and row are absoluted, the A and the 3. If we click again, we have a mixed cell reference whereby the 3, the row, is only absoluted. Click again, we have the A, the column only absoluted, and the relative cell is where the A3, if it was auto-filled across, would become B3, C3, D3 automatically. Okay, so what we need to do in this is we need to look at, see what happens when we do the same to the B2, make it back to relative and tick the little tick. When we take that through on an autofill across and then a total autofill down the row, we've done the column and we've done the row. So going across, has worked on the first one. As far as the top's concerned, the very first one's worked, but after that, this moves relatively across to B3, C3, just as we said it would. And when we took it down, it didn't work either, because it came down here and it came down there. So it came down okay here, but it came down there. So what we need to do is we need to change it so that when we autofill across, it moves across there but stays on A3. And when we take it down the row, the B2, this moves down, but this stays the same. So let's have a look in practice, because sometimes trying to explain it is always difficult. So let's make it absolute, and that would work, would it? So let's type it again and make it by column. That's by row because it's in front of the 3. So we need the $sign in front of the column. That works. If we then tick that and we take it across, that should work in theory. If we click on these, you can see it's worked. It stayed on A3, but it's moving across the column correctly. Okay? But then if we take that down, the B2 will still stay relative. So in a sense, that's not going to work, is it? As you can see, this has moved down. As I've moved down the row, this is moved down as well in the different answers. So back to the first one. So if we make this mixed cell referencing, let's go to the absolute first, then the mixed cell, and that's the correct one because it's in front of the number, which is the row. So then we'll autofill that, autofill down, and this time it should work. So the first one will always work, second one, third, yep, let's go down this time from this way. Yes, it's worked. It stayed on the B2, but it's moved down there. And if we use Control and the key above the tab, and tap that, you can see that that is definitely what they're asking for. So what we've done is we've used mixed cell references to autofill across and get the correct answer. And you can have a little play with this one yourself in how you change it.